What's up, Tokos? Trent, aka TradeMark here, and I'm just going to be going over the dark side perks in this video. I have another video for the light side perks if you want to see those, but let's just get right into it. So Darth Vader for perk 1, looks like he gets a 5% attack power and health increase. Perk 2, he gets consecutive attack damage increased by 40%, so that's pretty significant. That's going to be his AoE swing on it after his combo attack. Perk 3 is a skill enhancement, so he's going to get his force pull is going to be reduced by 2 seconds, so from 15 seconds down to 13 seconds. And then perk 4 changes basic attack to become a powerful slash when force pull is successful. Okay. So maybe they're changing, so he pulls and maybe does his combo consecutive attack, maybe? I'm not sure. And then finally, perk 5 for his special ability, he recovers health if an enemy leader is defeated. Yeah, that's right. So that's pretty big. That makes him like 40th Vader in that regard. He can heal after defeating an enemy. And he has a lot of tools now to assassinate an enemy leader. So he might not actually be... He was average before, but I think he might be pretty good now. You're going to be able to assassinate targets. You're going to have that your Afra stun. You could run double stun, and anytime you heal, I mean, even if you're diving turret and you're doing that, if you get the kill off, you're going to heal 22% for you and your organics. So I think that's pretty good. Let's look at Boba next. Perk 1 for Boba, increase in movement speed by 0.25. Consecutive attack, so his fire damage is increasing by 30%. That's his AoE and burn. Let's see, skill damage plus 75% on his rocket, up to 375, and you get your the rocket cooldown decreased by 3% or 3 seconds, excuse me. So 25 seconds on his rocket cooldown with a little bit stronger rockets. Pretty good. It all really depends on what your base damage is going to be for that, because that's what's going to depend on your rocket damage. But you can see a max level Boba at 375% damage, it's going to be chunking pretty hard off of a base attack power of 127. And then finally, the foil is just an additional damage to leaders. Let's look at Emperor Palpatine next. He got perk 1, increase attack power by 7% flat. Perk 2 is reduced dash cooldown by 18%. That's actually pretty big for EP. He needs to be able to get away when he needs to, so that's pretty big. Increase the skill damage by 20%, so that's his Force Lightning. Looks like it goes up to 420%, so not a huge buff on that. And then decreases enemies' movement speed by an additional 35% for 4 seconds upon hit. Okay, so that's interesting. So now you're going to be able to Force Lightning. Yeah, I didn't see that being really good, honestly. Now it gives EP more incentive to kind of use his Force Lightning on like a big push build up. If you're aggressive, you can slow down the enemy units. Plus, then if you kill the enemy leader, you're going to get that attack bonus while you're wailing on the tower. And then finally, perk 5. Reduce active skill cooldown by 15% when enemy leader is defeated, and reduces active skill cooldown time by 5%. So pretty good here as well. EP was in an average spot. I'm not sure that that's enough to take him to like above average, but pretty good. Let's see what's going on with Bossk. Bossk gets run speed increased by 15%. Next, his grenade launcher damage plus 35%. That's actually pretty important. Increases snare duration by 1 second. I'm not sure that that's too important. Increases energy earned when defeating an enemy leader by 1%, or by 1. That is big. So let's see, he's going up to 3 energy. Yeah, that's not bad at all. And then let's see, deal 15% damage to snared enemies. Oh wow, so that's really cool. Yeah, and then plus an additional 5%. So you're gonna have 20% basically skill, or you're going to be dealing with your foil card, you're going to be dealing 20% extra damage to anything that's snared for 4 seconds. So, yeah. I can see Bossk again. Pretty much all perks for every leader are good. It's just how much are they going to be enough to affect some of the metas and some of the current value of leaders? Hard to tell. Let's see. So Dengar, perk 1 for Dengar, increased run speed by 15%. Perk 2 is damage plus 50%. Now that's only for a skill. Perk 3, he does get a range increase of 0.25. It's pretty good. And then decreases cooldown on skill by 3 seconds. Let's see, what was it at? 27 down to 24. It's alright. Nothing huge here that I'm seeing. Blinds an enemy that has been hit for 4 seconds. What? No way, huh? So I wonder, blinds an enemy that has been hit for 4 seconds. That's on his skill though. So does that mean he blinds the entire every enemy that's hit for 4 seconds, and then you increase that duration to 6 seconds? I mean, that would be pretty awesome, depending on what blind does. I imagine blind's like a R2-D2 skill, where in blind you have to be in melee range to attack. So I'm guessing for 6 seconds the units kind of walk forward until they're in melee range or something, or maybe they just walk blindly for 6 seconds. Not sure there. But that's interesting to see. Let's move on to Grand Inquisitor. Perk 1 here, we got consecutive attack damage by 15%, jump distance by 2%, okay. Increased basic attack damage by 10%. That's very important just simply because of his attack passive. So his basics are getting, and he gets basic ability attack power by 8%. Okay, so he's getting some stat increases, some basic attack. That's going to combo it in conjunction with his consecutive attacks. I can see him against Jedi. Okay, increased duration by 2 seconds. The duration, his ability does... Yeah, this doesn't make sense. I thought it does damage per second. I thought it was just flat. I mean, I know it does damage over time, but aren't they just spacing it out? That doesn't make sense to me at all. Oh, no, I'm thinking of the wrong thing. I'm thinking, okay, it's Jedi Hunter that's increasing. Okay, so Jedi Hunter, the time that your damage is maintained is increased to 7 seconds. So that's pretty good. It went from 5 seconds to 7, which means you can be a little more, you can go in, you can attack, you can back off, still go apply your stacks and not lose your bonus damage as long as you're attacking once every 7 seconds. And then finally your skill, this is the skill increase. So this one gives your skill damage 25% plus 50% on the foil, 40% overall is going to bring your total up to 504% attack power. So against Jedi, I mean, GI is going to be really deadly. Unfortunately, Jedi are kind of garbage right now, so not many people run them. Octu Luke is really the only Jedi that's... Does 40th count as Jedi? Oh yeah, I guess he does. So okay, he'd be good against 40th. Some people occasionally use Yoda. Some people use OG Luke. OG Luke might increase in popularity after this too. So, but still, yeah, I don't know. GI above average, or maybe averages. Let's look at perk 1 on, who was this, Callus? So we got perk 1 going that health plus 7%. Consecutive attack damage 30%. That's his AoE attack. Increased stun duration by 0.5%. Oh. I thought I was looking at someone else for a second. Okay. So Callus is going to have, 1.5 second stun now. Or no, excuse me, 2 second stun now. and decreases enemies' attack speed by an additional 15%. Oh wow, so that's cool. So now when Callus is doing his consecutive smack AoE attack, he's going to decrease enemy attack speed by 15% for 3 seconds. So just something else to kind of, he's hurting the enemy group units as he attacks with his AoE. And then finally, special ability enhancement, additional damage dealt to enemies, up 2% plus 3% on the foil. Wow, the foil, that's the first time I think I've seen the foil be like higher. Usually I think it's reversed. So you really want the foil on this. It's going to give you an overall 3% bonus damage. Bump you up to 15%. So have to run the new stats on that, but it should be pretty strong. Let's look into Tarkin. Tarkin was looking interesting to me. His attack power increases by 7%, health by 7%, range by 5. This is for his skill only. So a skill, you know, I would have to test it, but I imagine it's going to be pretty far back that you can cast your skill from to hit tower now. And your damage increases by 30% on the skill, but here's the interesting one. You get energy recharge rate plus 20% and 10% on the foil. So when this is only for your special ability. So right here, you notice it goes from 50% to 70% chance to recover 1 energy. With foil, it's going to be 80% chance to recover 1 energy. So pretty good odds of recovering 1 energy when you're running support cards. He should be in an interesting place point post update. And then finally, next we got Krennic. Krennic's perk 1. We have every 6 basic attack decreases active skill cooldown by 2 seconds. So I mean his cooldown's already super short, 22 seconds. Now every 6th basic attack, you're lowering that even more. I mean, man, he's gonna have his special up a lot. Damage by 15% for his skill. Decreases cooldown by 2 seconds. Holy cow, what? Am I reading this wrong? 6 shots, 414% damage, 20-second cooldown, and you're going to be decreasing that every 6 shots. You're going to have that baby up a lot. Increases health and attack power of summoned death troopers. That's kind of garbage. I don't know that I like that. Yeah. I mean, Death Squad leader's already he's already in a bad spot. Maybe they buffed him. They might have lowered the energy on Death Squad leader, I forget. But it seems like he was 5. I don't know if they buffed that. Special ability enhancement, 3% on the energy recharge rate, 5% on foil. So that's good. It gives him 15% total with foil. And next up we have Krennic. Increase attack speed by 10%. That's super important for him since he needs to spawn his troopers in. Increases duration by 1 second for his speed up. Decreases cooldown by 2 seconds. Okay, so that's pretty good. So now he increases 40% attack and movement speed but for 5.5 seconds. Special ability enhancement increases max overlap by 12%. I don't even know what that is. Oh, gotcha. Increases summoned stormtroopers level by 1. So let's see what. Okay, so he's pumping out at max level. He's going to be pumping out 22 stormtroopers, level 23 with foil. So near max stormtroopers coming out quite often. Thrawn was already in a decent spot if you knew how to play him. Let's see. Who do we have next? Seventh Sister? Okay. Seventh Sister, run duration by 15%. That's pretty important for her because she is one of the best split push leaders. Increase attack power by 6%. Applies an additional dodge effect when skill is used. When skill is used, I'm not sure what that means. Like just when her skill is used or for a time period after? I guess it's saying like right when she activates her skill, she's going to dodge everything, which is kind of nice, I guess. It means, I guess probably what they're trying to prevent. You used to be able to like stun her out of that, and maybe that can't be done anymore. Increases ID9 Seeker Droid's level by 1. I don't think that really matters. Decreases ID9 Seeker Droid's summon cycle by 1. This does matter, however. 1 second for her perk 5 and an additional second for her foil bonus. So she's going to be summoning every, let's see, every 6 seconds on perk 5, every 5 seconds on foil. Yeah, Addison, some of these, you know, Addison was just saying something was similar to how it works now. And some of these, unfortunately, it seems like they nerfed some of their already existing passives, and then the perks increase it to that level or past it. So when you guys are looking at this, don't be comparing it to the previous. Look at it to the new maxes, because they're all going to kind of have new maxes on all the abilities here. Next of all, we had 40th Vader. Let's see, increase ranged attack damage by 10%. That's important for 40th Vader. Melee attack damage by 10%. So again, doubling up there. Increases health by 5% and an overall attack power. Okay, that's good. So just overall his attacks are going to increase. He's going to get a little tankier. Special ability here, he gets health recovery plus 5%. So previously he got 20% health increase, and then now he's getting 25%. What's that, bud?
I really wanted to.
Wanted what? So 25% on his health passive. Let's see what this last one is. Special ability increases attack speed by an additional 20% and movement speed by an additional 20% for 3 seconds when leader is defeated. So, huh. Okay, interesting. So yeah, you got like a little 3 second and then an additional 2 seconds on your foil. So he gets like a little mini Anakin bonus essentially. Huh. Should be interesting to see 40th. I've always liked 40th Vader. He hasn't been very popular since his nerfs, but I think that's just because there have been so many strong dark side leaders. I think if a few of the dark side leaders get nerfed, he'll be right back into that spot that he needs to be again. Let's see. So Grievous is up next. His basic perk 1 is health 6%, attack power 6%. Okay. See his perk 2 skill, increased damage by 15%. Don't do that, buddy.
I just doing it like how it was.
Decreases cooldown. Okay, so basic stats, increased damage on his skill, decreased cooldown by 3 seconds, and oh wow, okay, so here's a big one. Now that's his passive. It's increasing his passive 3% on tech units. So tech units goes up to 9%. Basic. Oh no, you guys need to go out. Go. Hurry. And then let's see what his perk 5 is. Increased allied tech units damage to Jedi by an additional 15%. Huh. So I'm not sure that I really like that. Silly kid. Go. Shut the door when you go out, okay? Shut that door, please. Thank you. You're a nerd ball. Need attention much, huh? Okay, hon, I'll come play with you guys before you go to bed, okay? Just
No,
let me finish this.
Fine. Gunner's out there.
Okay, yeah, after I finish the video, I'll come play with you guys outside. Well, it's almost bedtime though. You guys can have like 30 minutes out there, okay?
But no test, right?
Yeah, just wait for me, okay? Alright, perk 5. Let's wrap this up. Then I got some outsidings to do. Let's see. Jedi, I mean, I already told you guys the issue with Jedi, but I like this, bumping that up to 9%. The really cool thing is that you can stack this with your data card bonus. So the 9% health and damage on your tech units combined with the Separatist bonus, which is going to be your tech unit's going to have 11% stronger health and shields, 12% faster attack speed. Yeah, I mean it's gonna be significant. Now that's that's star 5, which are gonna be pretty hard to get to those data cards, but that we're talking like end game max level stuff. That's what Grievous is gonna be able to output. Let's take a look here. This is Maul coming in, basic movement, dash cooldown by 20%. Perk 1. Perk 2, excluded as a target of any enemy attacks when skill is used. Okay. Oh, maybe it removes aggro from you. If it removes aggro and the enemy units lock onto something else, I can see that being pretty cool. So you can dive when you need to remove aggro from it. Yeah, I can see. And turret hopefully won't target you either. Increase attack power by 8% on your basic. Okay, pretty. Increase damage by 30% on your skill. So your skill's going up to what? 260% attack power. Decrease leader respawn cooldown. Ugh. 15 seconds. Maul was already like pretty broken. Now he's just gonna be. I don't think the issue with this Tenacious Fighter is the 60%. I think it's just what he can do with that, and is unique too. So unless they nerfed his unique, which I don't think they did, I think Maul's going to be just as strong, if not hypothetically stronger, than he was previously. Let's take a look at Cad. Cad's been balling out. Is Pandango still in here? I don't know if Pan's still in here, but let's see. Increase grenade attack speed by 7%. Okay. It's going to slightly increase your increased duration of bullet attack snare by 2 seconds. Okay. Pretty good. I think they nerfed that actually. I think in a previous beta it was like 5 seconds. It was something stupid and dumb. Decrease cooldown by 1 second. So let's see what it's currently at. Because remember, this is not compared to the live build, it's compared to this. So he can swap every 7 seconds here. And then with this enhancement, you're going to go down to 6 seconds. I think the current game is at 5 seconds, yeah? So he still nerfed just a tad, which probably is good. I think he was buffed a bit too much with that 5 second. I think they could have maybe changed it a little bit, but essentially it's at 6 seconds now. Let's see. Perk 4 on Cad, explosion damage plus 100%. So this is on his suicide. Oh man, what is his suicide? 200%? Is that what it's at currently? If it's an extra 100% on top of what it already was, that's really good. And then perk 5, unique ability enhancement, additional 15% increase to damage dealt to enemies below 40%. Damage to enemies below 40% health plus 5. So is that just in general? just in general, he does 15% extra damage to enemies with under 40%. So that's cool. And then you get an extra 5% on top of that. I mean, it seems like pretty much all pros for Cad. I think they did nerf, it sounds like, his rotation just a bit, but not a huge enough amount. He's still going to be awesome. Unless they touched his base damages on his ability, which I didn't check. If that's the same for his flamethrower, 300%. I don't know, wait, that's not... dealing 50% bonus damage. Wasn't it way higher than that? Yeah, I think it was way higher than that, like 200 or 300%. So maybe they mega nerfed Cad. I don't know. Sorry guys, I'd have to pull up the current stats on the live build to compare. But I can do that afterwards and kind of post a result spreadsheet or something. Let's see, so here we have perk 1, what we're on? Kylo Ren. Perk 1, Kylo Ren, increase attack power by 5%. That's just on his basic. His unique ability enhancement, increase rage attack power by 7%, okay? So up to 30%. Increased effect duration by 0.5 seconds. That's for his stun on his skill. Consecutive attack enhancement causes enemies to bleed for an additional 2% of max health as damage per second for 3 seconds upon hit. Okay, that's interesting. So now you can activate freeze, your rage, and then give them bleed damage. I mean, pretty much, they were already pretty much dead when you froze them, but now even more so. Stay away from the Kylos. Damage to movement impaired enemies plus 6%, plus 4% on foil. So a whopping 10%. Again, they probably nerfed his base, but the max for cruelty is 30% additional damage on impaired enemies. So pretty cool there. Hopefully they nerf some of his bases. Kylo was in a decent spot after the most recent round of nerfs. I don't feel like he was nearly as broken as he was at launch. The issue with Kylo has always been his damage reduction and his stacking at high level. So like at level 6 Kylo with the level 6 rage is nowhere near what a level 1 is or whatever. And I'm not sure that this is how this compares to how level 8 Kylo compares with max perks compares to level 6 Kylo previously. Alright, General Huxtable. Basic perk 1, let's take a look here. Increase movement speed by 0.3. Perk 2, increase health by 5%, attack power by 5%. For the basic, increase attack speed by an additional 10%. None of this stuff really benefits him because he didn't really need attack speed. Additional attack power for first order units plus 3%. Now that's significant. Up to 15%. I'm not sure what it was previously. But first order units, Stormies and Riots are very strong. And then you get 5 seconds cooldown. 3 seconds on perk 5, 2% extra. 2 seconds extra cooldown on your foil. So Order Eliminate can be used every 25 seconds. Again, this is really where the value comes from in Hux, and even more so with First Order Officer. If you can keep First Order Officer alive, if he's tanky enough to survive some stuff, and you get to use Eliminate a few times, you're going to have huge value coming out of Hux. But the reason why he's just not played much, in my opinion, is because he gets countered so easily. He doesn't have great stats, and for First Order Officer is killed by T-70 and so many things really easily. Y-Wing, things like that. So next up we have Captain Phasma, who's in an incredible spot right now. Let's see how she does. Her perk 1 goes increase run speed by 15%. Skill for her, that's going to be her slam dunk, whatever it's called. Baton attack. Nah, slam dunk's way better. So extra 2 range on that. That's actually pretty important because a lot of times it's hard for her to trigger it immediately, and that's enough range, I feel like, to do it from further away. She gets basic attack power and health up by 8%. So she was already pretty good stats-wise. She's going to get a little boost there. And then finally, her perk 5. She deals 0.3% additional damage for every 1% decrease in enemy health on the skill, plus an additional damage proportional to decrease in enemy health plus 0.2%. So she can do 0.5% extra damage for every 1% additional decrease in enemy health. So basically down to about 50%, you're going to do your regular damage on your skill plus 25% damage. So theoretically, I guess you could probably assassinate someone like right around 40-ish% health, I'm guessing. It's interesting. I mean, I feel like Phasma's going to be hypothetically like even in a better spot, which is hard to do because she was already one of the best dark side leaders. All right, let's move on to Dooku. Mr. Dooku. Perk 1 is increase health and attack power by 5%, flat base stats. Okay. He gets reduced dash cooldown by 15%. Special ability counter attack rate plus 5%. Okay. Counter attack damage plus 50%. Now that's significant. So now has a 55% chance to counter and inflicts 250 damage. So I mean, Dooku can really wreck you if you're not ready for it. He could have quite a bit less health and you run in there and get yourself your ass handed to you. Perk 5, let's see, decrease cooldown by 2 seconds, slow effect plus 10%. And that's his skill. Okay, slow effect plus 10%. And foil increases it an additional second, slow effect. I don't think, oh yeah, the cooldown. So 18 seconds now. 17 seconds. I mean, the thing is, Dooku already made stuns way more popular and displacements, and so pretty much everyone's going to need to be running stun or some type of displacement because, man, him having his special up every 17 seconds is rough. Means he can use that sucker a lot for our old Duke's master. Let's look at Broke Snoke. Broke ass, Snoke ass. Here's the basic stats. I'm not sure if his base stats have changed. Well, it's hard to compare because level 8 is different than it's... Anyways, let's just get to the perks. Basic attack power increased by 6%, which is quite significant for him since he's high damage, slow attack speed. Skill enhancement, he gets plus 50% damage. Just what he needed. Now he can, instead of only clearing 75% of your push, he can clear all 100%, including your ATRTs and your Bantha and any unit and your towers all in one push. He just ends the game as soon as he uses the skill. Fuck you, Net. Excuse me. I almost said something mean to our friends at Netmarble. I hate Snoke. This fucking gas champ. Okay, I'm done. Rant over. Let's go to perk 3. Increase silence duration by 2 seconds. So now okay. Reduces double tap skill cooldown by 10%. Increases That marble. I will literally pay me. I will pay, no, I will pay you. I will pay you to allow me to do your department that balances the game. I will pay you money to just let me have their job for one balance change, one balance pass, and just watch how the community reacts. I can't even talk. This is so stupid. They reduce the time it takes for him to stun, and they increase the duration by 20%, 30% with fucking his foil card. I can't look at Snoke anymore because I'm saving the most broke for last. No, just kidding. I don't know how good Dryden is. Snoke is already was Snoke so meta defining and breaking, unless I'm missing something, like unless they changed, because again I'm comparing this to what he currently is. Let's say that maybe, I don't know, maybe they nerfed it initially, so now it's just bringing it up to that level. Maybe I'll give them a small benefit of the doubt, but I'm not really going to, because you guys have passed Snoke on 3 balance updates now. You slightly nerfed Octu Luke, which, okay, like, Octu's still broken, but he's not as broken as Snoke. Snoke's the most broken leader you've ever had in your game, and now you're buffing him with, like, significantly. Oh, that I'm taking a break after this leader, guys. I can't. All right, let's do Dryden for the last one. So Dryden's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited to see what he has. Basic ability, increased movement speed by 0.3. Basic perk 2, basic attack power 7%. That's pretty significant because he's pretty quick. He does lots of DPS. You guys see this DPS value? Fool is a rough mofo once he gets in there. Reduces dash cooldown by 10%. Okay, increases dash damage by 15%. Wait, what? Basic. Oh. No shit, huh? That's why. I was playing him earlier against bots. Does he do damage when he dashes? Dryden Vos to rapidly close in on enemies and inflict continuous bleed damage for a short period of time. So he inflicts bleed as he dashes? Maybe that's why they were dying, and I didn't understand why. Well, that's pretty cool if that's how it works. I'm not. I mean, I played Dryden in a few bot games, guys. I'm not too familiar with it, but if that's true, he just deals damage as he dashes. He's a pretty cool hit and run champ. You know, can you guys imagine like the combo: stun, dash in, do your bleed attack, dash out, get the F out. Skill enhancement: increase duration by 2 seconds. So his rage mode, which allows him to double tap faster, so he's faster at dashing. He inflicts damage by 20%. Oh no, okay, it's only when rage is active. Okay, so that makes sense. So you pop your rage, dash in, smack, smack, dash out. That's pretty dope. Not gonna lie, I'm sure there's. Dryden seems like a pretty micro-intensive leader, someone that's like really skilled micro-wise. I feel like someone like Logix would absolutely dominate with Dryden. So, but anyways, yeah, that's it for the leaders. Pretty disappointed with that last Snoke, but that is the dark side perks. Let me know what you guys think in the comments of the video. That's it for me now. Malo, aupito. Thanks for watching. Peace. I'm out of here.